is a professional ring announcer from Vancouver/Surrey, British Columbia. He has a voice like thunder, energy like no other. You've seen and heard him on UFC Fight Pass, Danzin, TSN, and Global TV. He's the only Canadian and youngest to ever work with Michael Buffer. First Canadian, youngest ever licensed in the fight capital of the world, Nevada. He has rocked crowds in North America and the UK. Main voice for Battlefield Fight League, Canada's top UFC feed. Misfits Boxing on Danzin. And he plays the Pride 2000 ring announcer in the A24 film, The Smashing Machine, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt. Please welcome to Nothing is Perfect, Ryan Ventura!
Yes, let's go, man. What an intro.
Thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Honored to be here. I think this is like the first time I've ever been on a podcast and I can talk Canucks hockey.
Yeah. Well, I'm jealous because I see you got that great hat from the Abbey Canucks. I literally have the same one, but my head's too big.
Let's go.
It says one size fits all, but it does not. My head's too big, so.
Yeah, man. I was so happy when I got this cap because, like, growing up as a Canucks fan, like, we go through the many ups and downs and the dark days. So to be able to have a cap that says champion, not Western Conference champion, I mean, like, champion of a league, that means so much. Like, I personally think, like, I'm not into Western Conference championship merch. Like, I remember when I was a kid, during the 94 run, there were like Western Conference champion shirts, Western Conference champion hats, right? And the same thing with the 2011 run. No, man, I don't want to be known as, number one loser. That's just not me.
Yeah. I mean, even talking about that, I found it so funny during the baseball playoffs, right? You win your division, so you get the champagne out, and then you clinch a playoff spot, and then you win one round. And every single time they're popping champagne, I'm like, bro, you didn't end up winning, so I don't know why you're celebrating that early. It would be the same thing getting the Western Conference champion equipment. So
yeah, even when I go to Rogers Arena and I see that banner, 2011, 1994, 1982, it doesn't sit well with me. In my opinion, the only like championship banner that should be there, and there should be no ceremony for it, there should be a Millionaires banner at Rogers Arena. Like there doesn't have to be like any ceremony, not even news about it, because like that would be so lame. Just hang the banner there, Vancouver Millionaires, I think 1915.
Yeah, I got myself one of these too.
Oh yeah, buddy. I've been trying to get those too. Like that thing sold out so fast.
Yeah,
I like your background too.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, Phil DiGiuseppe flipping off the crowd. We miss Phil DiGiuseppe, the pizza man. So
yeah, I miss the pizza man too.
Well, the first question we always ask new guests on Nothing is Perfect is already been answered. What is your favorite NHL team, Ryan?
Oh, man, there's only one NHL team that I'll ever cheer for. And since 1992, I've been a loyal Vancouver Canucks supporter through good and bad, through the dark days. Even now, like, obviously, clearly, the name of your show, Nothing is Perfect. The Vancouver Canucks are not perfect. I'll always cheer for them, no matter what.
Yeah. My email address as a child was Canucks fan forever, so I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite player of the Vancouver Canucks?
Currently or past?
Either one or both.
Of all time, it has to be, for many people are we the same age? What year were you born?
84.
Okay, we're relatively the same age. I'm 87, so like, my guy has and always will be Pavel Bure. That was the player that started everything for me as a kid growing up. Before Pavel, my favorite player, and still is to this day, was Wayne Gretzky. And like, it's funny because like I begged my parents to buy me an LA Kings jersey. And like looking back at that now, I would never wear that jersey. So even sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Even like, okay, I visited the Hockey Hall of Fame recently, and like I'm looking at like a lot of Wayne Gretzky's milestones. There's like the net where like Gretzky had like the initial scoring record. It's like the net that like he scored on Kirk McLean is in the Hall of Fame. The puck that he scored on Kirk McLean is at the Hall of Fame. Like almost like every big record that Gretzky broke was against the Canucks, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, ugh, so bittersweet. I guess currently my favorite player as of right now, and that changes here and there, I would say Kiefer Sherwood. I really like the way he plays the game.
Yeah, absolutely. He's having a great season too. This is a
Mm.
book I sometimes read on stream. It's never boring. The Up and Down History of the Vancouver Canucks by Ed Willis, who's a longtime beat reporter for the Canucks. And there is a story about Wayne Gretzky almost becoming a Vancouver Canuck in there. So I don't know if you've heard that story
Oh
before, but
yeah.
I'm sure that one hits you right in
Ugh.
the heart.
Every time, man. Like I remember growing up as a kid. I remember growing up and like a lot of like, my I guess my favorite core memories as a Canucks fan are as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Playing NHL '94, talking to your friends in the playground and playing ball hockey. Yeah, I remember. It's like I remember my friends saying, "Oh, did you hear Wayne Gretzky could be a Vancouver Canuck?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I hope that happens." And then he plays for the St. Louis Blues.
Then you could have had a Wayne Gretzky Canucks jersey, and that would have been wonderful.
Oh, that would have made my life. Even if like nothing good ever happened out of it, that would have been so cool. Like
Yeah.
especially after the disgusting taste that we got from Mark Messier.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. But then I wonder if Gretzky would have brought Messi on anyways because they were buddies. But I mean, if, yeah, we don't have to get into that. So you said core memories growing up watching the Canucks. A lot of them come from when you were younger. Do you have like a favorite moment as a Vancouver Canucks fan?
Hmm. Um, Shoot, man. Like, my favorite recent memory was going to Rogers Arena for Game One, Round One against the Nashville Predators in 2024.
Mhm.
Um, you know, Growing up, I didn't have like a lot of money, and wasn't able to go to the games myself. So to be able to be in the barn with one of my best friends and like so many people that mean so much to me in attendance as well, like my brother and his wife, and at the time their son, like he was in the womb, like he got to go to the biggest Canucks games in the womb, right? That made it extra special to me. Like I remember like walking in there, it didn't feel like a regular night. Like you can cut the tension and you could taste some things different in the air. Like this was like what you live for as a fan. Like this isn't like some regular season game that didn't mean anything. Like this was like our introduction to the dance, because we didn't get to experience that in the bubble,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then of course, like other memories too, the 2011 run. Like I didn't have a chance to be at the games in person for the run, but like being able to share that with my dad and my brother and my cousins and everything, and watching that together. I think that was like the most money I've ever spent as an adult at the liquor store. Like I
Yeah.
probably like every day, like we would have like a 12 pack of beer and chicken wings and pizza, and that obviously adds up. Right.
Yeah. Well, everyone who has seen my stream before knows that every time anyone talks about the 2011 run, I have to bring up my ticket stub to Game 7 against Chicago, where
Oh yeah,
Burrows
buddy.
slayed the
Let's go.
Dragon. So I was at that game, and I always let people know when Burrows scored, I cheered so hard that I literally blacked out and fell over backwards into my chair and woke up looking at the roof of Rogers Arena, wondering if it was just a dream, but it was real. And the nightmare didn't happen until the Stanley Cup Finals. So
That
if you
that
were to change the 2011 Finals or the '94 Finals, which one would you change? You had to choose between them.
Oh man, that's like picking your favorite kid if you had a kid. Um, I think I would say the 2011 run, because like I'm old enough to, as an adult, to like be able to appreciate it more. If the boys won the cup in '94, that would have been awesome. But like back in '94, you didn't have like smartphones, you didn't have like all these other things to document that whole journey. And in
Mhm.
2011, that was obviously like with the whole thing that happened like after the game, like you saw everyone documenting what happened. But imagine like documenting how sweet that victory would have been.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So here's the next one is there a hated rival player of the Vancouver Canucks that you've already always secretly wanted to be a Vancouver Canuck?
Growing up, it probably was Joe McGinley. I remember during that run when we had the West Coast Express, like, whenever we played the Calgary Flames, they were always, a heated rival team. And especially when we played them in '04 and eventually Calgary went on that run, I was like thinking like, the Canucks, they're better than these guys. They're better than the Calgary Flames. And, the Flames had like, a good run and respect to them. And Jerome McGinley, I have so much respect for him. He's such a great individual player. And I think like outside of the game, he seems like a wonderful human being. But he was just someone that like, I absolutely did not like playing against as a fan.
Yeah, we have the exact same answer. That's always my answer. I
We
always
do?
wanted to see. Yeah.
Wow, that's
The other
awesome.
one that's like a close second is Ryan Smith from the Edmonton Oilers, and that was an era
Yeah,
that I loved. It was Trevor Linden, Ryan Smith, and Jerome McGinley as like the three greatest players in Western Canada, and that was a good time in hockey for the West Coast of Canada,
absolutely,
I think.
absolutely, man.
So tell me a little bit about your parents and their journey because they immigrated from the Philippines. You said it was in the 70s, right?
Yeah, so my father immigrated in 1975, and I believe my mom came here in, if I'm correct, like 81, so a little bit like later. And because we're both Surrey boys, they actually met in Surrey. And like, the Filipino community is, at the time was a pretty small community. So like, if you were new into the country and you're of this ethnicity, there's a good chance you would have encountered each other. And, my parents, met when they were teenagers and they had me.
There you go. And so they moved out to Winnipeg, I think it was, right?
So my mom, I believe, like my mom and her family, like they came to B. She came to BC first. So like they
Mhm.
came to BC first, but my dad and his family they went to Winnipeg, Manitoba first. During that run of Filipino immigrants that were coming to that country, a lot of them got jobs with CN Rail. And
Mm.
my grandfather, God rest his soul, he was a mechanic for CN Rail.
Oh, cool. I think there's a lot of similarities between our life stories, brother, because my dad was born in Winnipeg, so I don't know. There's some
Oh, right
synchronicity
on.
happening right here.
Yeah, for sure. Like those ties between Winnipeg and my family are just so deep. Like my brother's wife is from Winnipeg and that's where she was originally born.
So
So
do
like,
you have a do
all
you have a favorite BTO song?
do I have a favorite BTO song?
Yeah.
Um I do not know.
No. Okay.
So I'm
They're like
sorry. I'm
the
sorry.
no, it's all good. They're the famous band from Winnipeg, so
Yeah.
that's why I would ask. But if you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
weren't listening to it growing up,
no, maybe my dad was, but
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
I unfortunately was not.
yeah. And so your dad was kind of the inspiration for you to get into hockey because he kind of fell in love with the sport when he got to Canada, right?
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy just because like, when I think about it and like, I look at like pictures and home movies and stuff like that, like it literally was always just there. Like ever since I was a kid, like, we didn't have a lot growing up. So like I unfortunately did not get to play the game on an organized ice level, like ball hockey. Yeah, I played organized ball hockey. I still do.
Mhm.
But ever since I was a kid, like I have pictures of me like shooting a foam puck on my grandmother, God rest her soul too. Like I had like this little like stick. Like do you remember like those little wooden team
Oh yeah,
sticks? Right? I think every like kid from the 80s, early 90s had them. And oh wait, you got one. Let's see it. Yes. Ah, yes. There you go.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Yes, like and we had so many random ones. Like I remember, obviously my favorite one was the Canucks one. I had a LA Kings one. I had a Philadelphia Flyers one, Montreal Canadiens, Winnipeg Jets. Like they all we just had like these little sticks, and like I had so many of them, and I used to that was my favorite thing to do. Just like shoot around the foam puck on whoever was available to play.
Yeah, exactly. Probably the little brother, right? That's what we always do. We put the little brother
Yeah,
on net.
yeah, yeah. The little brother of like my brother eventually would be in net, but like man, like he eventually like became like pretty good too. So yeah.
So I asked you what your favorite moment as a hockey fan. Do you have a favorite moment as a hockey player? Like, do you have one memory of playing in the street or organized ball hockey?
Oh, it's so funny that you asked. Like, okay, so you're from Surrey. Do you remember Central City Arena?
I
Right?
only moved here a couple years ago, so I had never actually been to that
Oh,
one, but I heard good things about it. It
oh.
was like a roller rink too, right?
Yeah, it used to be Stardust roller rink
Yeah.
and like in between like being a roller rink, it was also like roller hockey, ball hockey as well. And like I played in one of the toughest ball hockey leagues, which was the Central City Ball Hockey League. And like I don't know what it is. There's something about being from the city of Surrey. Like everyone has a chip on their shoulder when they play. And like I played in like the most grimy division where like, guys would like show up like after drinking 3 beers or something in the parking lot and it's just like like all like those like typical like Canadian ball hockey players and all that. And like the team that I was on like they like to play physical even though it's a no touch league. For some reason guys like to hit each other in that league. It was so stupid. And we were on the penalty kill and like I was clearing the ball for my end, like just like from the very end of the rink. I like lobbed the ball, and like the ball like does like a rainbow. It like bounces in the center, and then like it kind of like skips like right, and it goes 5 hole on the other goalie.
Beauty.
Ah, like to this day, I talk about it. My brother like witnessed the whole thing. I actually got a penalty after that for unsportsmanlike because like I was laughing so hard, like I fell on the ground. Right? Because like
That's so funny.
I wasn't intending that. Like I was just hoping that the ball would go on the other end. That's it.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh, it reminds me of Dan Clucci letting in from center against Lindstrom.
Let's never talk about that again. Dan Cluche, honestly, he was one of my favorite Canucks goalies, but not for being a goalie. It was because the man just did not care. Like he did everything but stop the puck. If you were like in his crease, like if you were in his crease just by that much, he would hit you with his blocker. Like
Yeah.
he would fight anybody. Like
Yeah.
he was great at everything but being a goalie.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I loved him for it, and I loved his bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came into one of my restaurants a couple years, or like it has to be a decade ago now, but it was just like, oh my, it's Dan Cluche. You're in with your kids' baseball team. Thanks for all the hard work you did for the Canucks, man. Super nice guy.
Cool.
So let's talk a little bit about your career because you have a very interesting career that not a lot of people could do. Um, you're an MMA and boxing ring announcer, right? Is there any other fighting styles that you've announced for?
Pretty much like anything that was like that could be that could happen in a ring or a cage. Like I've done it. Like I've announced pro wrestling as well. I've done like grappling events and things like that. I've also like done a little bit of PA announcing for soccer games, and surprisingly, I have not worked a hockey game yet, and I've been trying so hard to get on board with that, and that's like a massive like dream of mine selfishly. Like I recently applied for the Golden Eyes. Like I'm just saying it now just because like I don't think I got the call up for it. But like I applied anyway for the Golden Eyes, and I've applied for the Giants, I've applied for the Surrey Eagles. Yeah, you name it, I applied, and as of right now, nothing yet. I think I have some leads, but yeah, I would love to do a hockey game one day.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I mean that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring on today because I know the Canucks are doing a Filipino Heritage Night on December 5th and by the sounds of it it sounds like they're going to be doing like a guest announcer for that game so that how do you have you applied for that? How do people help you get to be the guest announcer for Canucks Filipino Heritage Night?
Um, to be honest with you, like it's like I know like on the back end just because like I'm pretty deep in like the community that I'm in, so like I have a lot of contacts and a lot of people that are making the wheels turn. This has been in the works for the last 2 years to my knowledge, and like it's something that just makes sense because the Winnipeg Jets, they have a massive Filipino population, and they've had Filipino Heritage Night for many seasons now, and the LA Kings started doing it a few years ago, so it just made sense to do it, especially since we do all these heritage nights. I've had a lot of really wonderful people on the back end vouch for me, even like within the organization, like I have like some contacts within it, like that are vouching for me and suggesting me, thankfully nothing confirmed yet. And I just been like doing my part to help create awareness. Like sometimes if you want an opportunity, even if like it's not clear as to what the opportunity is, you have to create it, and you have to do your part and use your platform and use all the connections that you have to like take your shot on goal and just try to create an opportunity. So hopefully this all pays off.
So do you fight yourself as well? Do you ever compete in any kind of fighting?
Yeah, I have. I have actually had I've had 4 amateur kickboxing fights, and I've been a long time martial artist myself. I've been training since I was 18 years old. Doing Muay Thai and kickboxing and mixed martial arts as well. And it's something that I enjoy as well. Like that's my other passion aside from hockey as well.
Yeah. The movie Umbach Thai Warrior is like one of my favorites of all time. That's a great.
Oh
I don't know if
yeah,
you've seen
buddy.
it, but I'm sure you
Dude,
probably have.
that's one of my favorite movies too.
Yeah.
Ong Bak, like Ong Bak is like complete mindless fun. Like you don't even have
Yeah.
to listen to the dialogue, just put in the background and something crazy happens, and it's the best. It's the best.
Yeah. And then they did the sequel too, and they had that. I think it was the sequel where that the one crazy shot where he's just like fighting up this like giant circular staircase all the way through, and it's all one shot. It's crazy how they pulled that off. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, go check out
Yeah.
Umbach Thai Warrior because it's absolutely a fun time.
Yeah, that movie that you're talking about, the second one, that actually I don't even think it's officially a sequel. It's The Protector. So
Mm,
like it's the one where like they were kidnapping like all those like exotic animals and he was saving them, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So one question I ask a lot of people when I bring them on the show too is what is your like welcome to the NHL moment? So a lot of people talk about, oh, I took a face off against Crosby or I took a shot on Roberto Luongo or whatever that is. In your career as a pro ring announcer, do you have like a welcome to the ring moment where you're like, holy cow, this is real? I can't believe this is happening.
Holy smokes, that's a tough question because I've been so fortunate in my young career that, well, not young, like I guess like I'm a vet now, but in my career I've had like so many, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is a real thing. I guess like one of the first ones that come to mind was when I worked in Las Vegas for this promotion called Tough Enough. So Tough Enough in Las Vegas is like the AHL to UFC to the AHL to NHL. So like,
Mhm.
you know, if you're looking for like, you know, top guys to make the jump to the UFC, you fighting Tough Enough in the States. And you know that like working in Las Vegas like with those officials and you know the same people that the UFC uses, that was a real mind opener. But I guess like the easiest one that comes to mind was when I worked in the UK. So I worked for a promotion called Misfits Boxing, and Misfits Boxing is like that big influencer boxing promotion. So guys like Logan Paul and KSI and all those guys, they fight in it.
Mhm.
And you know to be hand selected to work in at the OVO Wembley Arena in front of 15,000 people. You know, you have like the most important, the most famous people in the UK and the most famous people in the fight world talking about this event. And I got hand selected to warm up the room for Michael Buffer. And that is like, you know, in our craft, that's our Wayne Gretzky.
Mhm.
You know, and to be able to like even say that I shared the ring with him and I was the guy to warm up the room for him, that is something to this day that I'm chasing.
Yeah, very cool. That's a very cool story.
Thank you.
Beyond the pro ring announcing too, I see that you've recently gotten into a little bit of voice acting and a little bit of acting as well. It's in a movie, The Smashing Machine, with big stars like Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt. What was that experience like?
Oh man, like you know, I still have imposter syndrome from that whole experience. I mean, like it's not like I can call Dwayne Johnson and be like, "Hey, Dwayne, how you doing?" Right? But like, you know, just to be able to work with him side by side in the same room as him for 8 days, 12 hours, mind blowing. And you know what? You're gonna like this story too, and it sort of ties into hockey as well. So the Smashing Machine was filmed mainly in Vancouver, and all the scenes that I was in were at the Pacific Coliseum. So like my green room where I got to share like the green room with legendary fighters like Boss Rutan, Ryan Bader, you know, big names in the fight world. Like I got to like, you know, just be a fly on the wall in the old Canucks dressing room for 8 days. And like, you know, that made it even more special to me because I remember just walking into the set, like, you know, they transformed the Pacific Coliseum into the Tokyo Dome and they made it look like, you know, the old Pride FC MMA days at the Coliseum. But, you know, just being there and knowing the history of this building and now like, you know, I'm a part of that history now. And that makes it even more special to me.
Um, Along the lines of most memorable moments, do you have a most memorable fight that you were the ring announcer for if you had to pick one? Which might be tough too.
Mm. Oh, that's so tough as well. Okay, so there was a fight a few years ago. It was a Battlefield Fight League fight, and it was one of the most talked about knockouts in the entire world. There's this up and coming fighter named Radley De Silva. He fights in this featherweight division, and you know he's probably like one fight away from you know getting signed to the UFC. He just needs like a big win. You ever heard of the style capoeira?
Yes.
So it's like this Brazilian dancing fighting style, and yeah, exactly. His family, Bradley De Silva, brought that fighting style to Canada, so they're the pioneers of this fighting style. And he like in the ring, he like hits the guy with this like spinning heel kick. It looked like something out of like Tekken, and like he just knocked the guy out cold. And like, you know, this has been seen millions upon millions of times. It's been shared by like all kinds of big people. And I was like, I actually have like a picture of it. I'll send you later of like my reaction. Actually, you know what? You're on my YouTube page, right? You've seen it. That
Yeah.
the cover page of my reaction where I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for anyone watching this right now, we'll have a link in the description to his YouTube page, to his Instagram page, so you'll be able to check out all of Ryan's stuff. Is there anything you want to say to Canucks Nation since you have their attention right now that you need to tell all the fans out there that are dealing with quite a difficult season so far?
You know, like take it from me as a guy that's been, you know, a fan since 1992. There is literally no team that I would ever cheer for. Like I feel like, you know, I think also my attachment to Vancouver Canucks hockey is not just the team itself, it's not just the franchise, it's the memories that I carry with it. You know, like I think about like all those times with like, you know, relatives that are no longer with us. I got to share like so many beautiful moments with them. Like my grandfather, God rest his soul, he was one of my best friends. And like, you know, some of my favorite moments were just watching Canucks hockey with him, and you know, sharing moments with my dad, sharing moments with my brother, and like, you know, now his son, he's a, you know, a baby, he's 1 years old. We're going to be sharing moments with him. I just feel like if I was to like turn my back on this team and cheer for someone else, I almost feel like I'm betraying those memories. And you know, as a fan, like, listen, I know the times are dark. I lived through the Messier days. You lived through the Messier days. You know, we lived through like, you know, the really really dark times leading up to the bubble. Some of our legendary players getting traded: Trevor Linden, Bo Horvat, Pavel, all those guys. You know, just if you could take one thing out of it, like just remember that it's more than just a game. It's also the memories that you carry with it, and that's why I'm still loyal to the team.
Awesome. Ryan, I appreciate you taking all the time out of the day to chat with me today. And I hear you got a fight tonight, so good luck announcing the fight tonight. And I'm sure we'll chat again sometime soon because this was a lot of fun. So I'd love to have you on again
Yeah.
sometime.
I would be so honored to. It's so special because like this is actually the first time that I got to be on a podcast and I got to talk Canucks hockey.
Yeah, well, we are here on Nothing Imperfect. We are live during every single Vancouver Canucks game, and we cover some of the Abbey Canucks game as well. So there's going to be lots of time to chat about it, and we'd love to chat again. But until then,
Can I
yeah,
do one thing for you?
yeah, for sure.
I'll do this for you. Um, Canucks Nation, you are watching the Nothing is Perfect show with Russell Holiday.
Perfect. I love it. I love it, my
Did,
man.
did you catch it?
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, man.
Awesome, brother. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you very much.
Nothing is perfect.